Yeah, Julie and I were talking yesterday
Yeah,
about greed. When I meet someone who's very greedy, I was telling Julia, it's impossible for me to empathize with them. I really cannot put myself in their place.
I completely agree with you. I feel like so I grew up like very poor. I'll just like be frank about that. Like my family was very, very poor. And we could, like watch like my mother was a total hustler. Like she had multiple jobs. She was a single parent. That was me and my sister. I had a brother who passed and then another brother after him. So it's been four of us that, she raised on her own. And like I would say I've in my childhood I moved like 20 something times. It's just like having to watch her and like being such a perceptive kid and realizing like, oh, this is a money problem.
Hmm.
This is a this is an economic issue and it's affecting everyone around me. I have this very different relationship to money. And I think that's just kind of like a just like an what do you call that? Just a unforeseeable kind of like blessing of like my
Hmm.
upbringing because I
Hmm.
feel like it's oftentimes the opposite. And so
Mm.
like for me, it's hard for me to see like money as anything other than a tool because I've watched people go from not having money to having money to not having money again and to see that their well-being didn't really like change with their
Hmm.
like increased or decreased bank account. And so when I meet a person like you, when I meet a person who is just like so money hungry, it's baffling to me because like money is just a tool. It's a neutral thing. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just a tool that gives you access to other things. And like you never see somebody pick up a hammer and like wake up every day and it's like, I'm gonna go out and get these hammers. And it's like it's just as much of a tool as money is. The hammer will build you a house or whatever it is that you needed to do, but this money will get you access to the things that you actually love. It's not money that
Right,
you love, it's the access to things that you love. So,
right, right.
like, and I feel like there are ways to access things that you love without that and getting in touch with what it is that you truly love, removing the money aspect of it, like creates this whole different, like, just way of life. And so, yeah, I think,
And the other sorry, I didn't mean to
oh, no,
stop
no, no,
you.
go
No.
ahead.
The other thing which I've noticed because I've got colleagues, peers, friends, and I turned 70 this year. I'm kind of proud of it. And people in my same age group are really kind of suffering maybe from health issues or mobility issues, and it's all about the choices that they made when they, the priorities that they set in their lives were just not, knock on wood, not the right priorities, right? And and so for a lot of these people who are on the hamster wheel, they don't fully realize all of the costs that they're incurring because of the way they're approaching life.
Mm.
It's a lesson you kind of learn. You're looking back and you go, whoa, okay.
all right, I want to take this up a notch here because
Oh.
yeah, because if you have the experience, whenever you have the experience that you can't empathize with someone,
Mm.
it's like there's something missing. Now, of course, many people who are functioning on greed cannot empathize with you either, right? And but every human is doing the best they can. Like if they're addicted to greed or as a kid they were poor and they figured out the solution is to become a stockbroker, or they were raised with money and that's the only way they know how to function, and they would feel like a failure and want to commit suicide if they didn't have money, or whatever their story is around whatever they're doing. Or on the other end of the spectrum, economic spectrum, Amber, your mom, doing the best she could, moving 20 times, raising four kids, dealing with the death of a child. Like everyone's doing the best that they can, because if it's not the best that they could, they would be doing better. Like no one wants to do, like, the brain is not designed to do poorly. It's designed to do the
Mm.
best that it can. And so even though I don't like get the greed addiction thing because I don't have the greed addiction thing, or I don't get that way of living. I think we got to be careful and be like, how can we unconditionally love, especially the people that we can't relate to?
And so I'll chime in and say, like for me, I think empathy is like a choice. It's an action you can take, and it's not something that just, organically appears. It's like it's something that you have to do. And you have to like process it and think about it. And so like in a way, it's like when I say I'm baffled by the person who is just completely greed like driven. I am, I guess, but I get why you might be that way. I understand how things in life play that way. I understand capitalism. Like, I understand the society that we live in, but like, I still at times make the choice to say, like, okay, it's like I get it, but I'm still
Yeah,
gonna side eye
yeah,
you. So
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yes, yeah.
it's
Yeah, yeah. What you're saying is you understand, but you're going to be a little judgmental, and
a little bit.
a little bit. Yeah, no, I'm a lot, but I'm learning that what feels really good is to recognize that there's no exceptions to the rule that everyone's doing the best they can.
Mm.
You could say like that behavior is unacceptable. I do not like that behavior. I don't want to be around that behavior. I don't want my friends to have that behavior, whatever the behavior is. It could be abuse, neglect, greed, whatever it is. So that's perfectly healthy and great and has to do with unconditionally loving yourself. But recognizing that there's just no exceptions to everyone doing the best they can. It's very freeing because you stop being this person who thinks that your job is to sort of mete out punishment and reward. Do you know what I mean?